Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to get the chance to talk to y'all. I kind of just wanted to go over what a mindful lunch is and making a mindful lunch and delicious and nutritious meal prep ideas and recipes for you guys to utilize during your busy work days. So let's get started. All right, a little bit about me first. My name is Katie Brasher, as Riley mentioned. I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia, but I'm currently living in Birmingham. I am a dietetic intern and a graduate student at Samford University. I am getting my Master of Public Health, and then I am studying to become a registered dietitian, similar to Riley. And I will finish up my studies in December. I'm so excited. And a little bit about how I got into food and nutrition. When I was 13, I had a family friend who asked me to help her with an event. She had taught a cooking class and was like, "Oh, you're not half bad. Would you like to help me with this event?" And it went pretty well because I ended up helping her out for the next 10 years with all of her catering events. And I kind of found my passion for food through that avenue. A fun fact about me is that I have a farm with goats, chickens, dogs, and cats. There is a picture of me in Savannah near the famous Forsyth Park at the top. And then the little white dog is Bella. And then there's a picture of some of my goats. All right, our objectives for today are pretty simple. I just want you guys to understand the importance of eating healthy and eating regularly. I want you to gain confidence in your ability to build nutritious and delicious meals and snacks for the workday, and then also learn how to meal prep those mindful lunches for your busy work days when you don't have time. I want to start out with some poll questions. If you guys don't mind just taking a look at those, we're going to rate your confidence on your ability to meal prep on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not confident and 10 being extremely confident. And then that second question, rank your understanding of how to build a mindful meal and with the same rating scale. And I'll give you guys a second to do that. Just make sure you get those in there, and then we'll reevaluate at the end. All right, we'll move on with the next. All right, so we have pretty good variety. A few of y'all said 10, some said 9. I think the highest is probably like 6, 7, and 8. So let's try and bump those up to a 10 today. All right, so question, does it matter when you eat? Studies show positive outcomes when you eat small, frequent meals every 3 to 4 hours. There are a lot of reasons behind this. Eating consistent meals and snacks offers a lot of health benefits. It can help maintain your blood glucose levels. This is important for everyone. Generally, when people hear the term blood glucose or like blood sugar levels, you think of diabetics, but realistically, it's important for everyone to consider this. You don't want your blood sugars raising really high or dropping too low, because it's going to make you feel not your best. It can cause drowsiness. It can make you just not have any energy, and it can lead to other serious health complications. Eating consistent meals is also going to help improve your mood and increase your energy, as well as help prevent that afternoon slump. And it decreases your chances of overeating, which is going to ultimately aid in weight loss and weight management. What are some dangers of irregular or disordered eating? Skipping meals can often lead to weight gain. It's because the body gets confused and the metabolism starts to wonder when the next meal is going to come from. So it slows down to conserve all the energy and take in all the fat that you just fed it. So it's saving all this up, and you're just going to end up gaining more weight, even if your intention was to lose weight in the first place. And then waiting until you're absolutely starving to eat or ravenous eating patterns can lead to lack of control. You're going to go towards more convenience foods or larger portions, and it can result in binging behaviors, which is also very dangerous. Overall, this irregular and disordered eating can lead to an unhealthy relationship with food as well, which is what we ultimately want to prevent. So what are some ways that we can prevent this? You can stay satisfied longer by choosing nutrient-dense foods. You may be asking, what are nutrient-dense foods? It's going to be any food that has a higher nutritional value than it does a calorie as far as nutritional value to calorie ratio. And you want to avoid energy-dense foods, which is basically the opposite. So foods that are higher in calorie or sugar, and they offer very little nutritional value. So think about eating a salad that's 1,000 calories versus eating several slices of pizza that equals 1,000 calories. The salad's going to offer you more nutritional value, even if it has all the chicken and the cheese and the boiled egg in it, versus 2 or 3 slices of pizza. It's not going to offer you as much nutritional value. So these energy dense foods are often found in convenience and processed type foods. How can you build your ideal meal? Building a nutritious and delicious meal, you want to include lean proteins, complex carbs, and healthy fats. Let's go over some common or great options to use for lunch. As far as for lean proteins, I really enjoy using turkey, grilled chicken, white fish, beans, Greek yogurt, and quinoa. Some complex carb ideas. We have quinoa again, oats, sweet potatoes, any whole wheat products such as bread, tortillas, or pastas, beans, strawberries. And then healthy fat options are avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds, salmon, and again, Greek yogurt. So you'll see a lot of these are in multiple spots, such as the quinoa being a protein and a complex carb. It makes it easier for you to be able to build a more balanced meal by choosing superfoods like this that have offer a lot of nutritional value. So how can I eat consistently when I'm at work? It's smart to keep snacks on hand to curb hunger. Some savory snack ideas are nuts, jerky, popcorn, pretzels, cheese, and vegetables with hummus. Some sweeter snack ideas, if you're like me and you have a sweet tooth, trail mix, granola or protein bars, yogurt, and protein balls. And you can even try meal prepping for lunch and snacks. So why should you meal prep? Ultimately, it's going to save you time. It's really budget friendly, and it's going to reduce stress during your busy work week. It's super customizable, so you can find which method works for you and fit it into your daily life. And it offers nutrient-dense meals at your fingertips. So how do you meal prep? Like I said, there's many different types of meal prepping. These are some of the ones we're going to go over today. There's the reheat method, batch cooking, buffet style, ingredient prep, and assemble ahead. We're going to talk a little bit about each of these and hopefully figure out which method's going to work best for you. So I'm going to start out with a reheat method. I feel like this is what people usually think of when they hear the word meal prep. You're going to completely cook the meal ahead of time, usually like 3 to 5 meals on your prep day. And then you're just going to stick them in the fridge and take them out and reheat it as you go throughout the week and you're ready for that meal. So there's a picture of kind of a very general basic reheat meal there at the bottom. Next, we're going to talk about batch cooking. It's a lot different and it can be kind of easier to implement if you're just starting out. You're going to cook one ingredient on your prep day and you're just going to use it as a base throughout the week. So for example, you could choose to do like a starch as your base. So you could make a lot of brown rice one week, and then you're just going to make several dishes throughout the week that include brown rice. Or you could also do a protein for your base food. You could do like a bunch of chicken to last you Monday through Thursday. And then you'll just do different meals that have chicken in them as well. You'll just add different vegetables and toppings to each meal so that you have a variety and you're not eating the same thing every day. Next, we'll talk about the buffet style. This one's similar to batch cooking, but it's a little bit different. It does require more cooking, but it also gives you a lot more variety. So you're going to prep a variety of ingredients on prep day, and you can mix and match those ingredients throughout the week and constantly make new combos so that you're always getting a new dish, a new flavor every day. So while it does require more cooking ahead of time, it does offer more variety. So I'm more of a fan of this one. And then if you're wanting to keep it really simple and really basic, ingredient prep is a great way to start. You're just gonna wash, cut, and prepare any ingredients, but you're not gonna cook anything on prep day. So for example, if your prep day is on Sunday and you know that you need cucumbers, zucchini, onions, and carrots throughout the week, you're gonna go ahead and wash, peel, cut, anything that you need and just keep them in the fridge so you can pull them out as you need them for each recipe. You can also go ahead and mix together any sauces or marinades or even dressings and keep them in the fridge as well. This is a really simple way if you feel like I'm never going to be able to have time for meal prepping, or I don't know how to implement this. This is a great way just to start out and see if it's something that's going to work for you. And then the last one we're going to talk about is assemble ahead. This one's really interesting because you're going to completely get all of the ingredients together and you can put them in like a mason jar, like this pitcher. That's a mason jar salad with quinoa, or you can do like a crock pot meal bag or even soup in a bag. So you're going to put everything you need in one container, and then you're just going to keep it in the fridge or freezer until you need it, and you'll pull it out and cook it at that point. So they can stay in there for weeks or even a month or so at a time. So what are some supplies that you might need to get started in meal prepping? Glass storage containers are a great option. You of course can use plastic, but glass is going to be better because it reheats in the microwave. It's better for you reheating it in the microwave rather than plastic, and it's also better for the environment. And they make really great containers such as the ones pictured below. Mason jars are great, especially if you have any like sauces or marinades that you're mixing up, or if you're doing any kind of salad. I like to do mason jar salads where you do all the wet ingredients at the bottom, and then as you go up, you do kind of drier and more solid, and then you'll do your lettuce at the top. So when you're ready to eat it, you just dump it out on a piece, on like a paper or a bowl, and it's ready to eat, and the lettuce hasn't gotten soggy because it's been at the top all day. You might need a crock pot or instant pot. You don't have to have both, but if you have one or the other, it's going to make it really helpful. You obviously need a sharp knife and a cutting board, but this is pretty essential for any time that you're cooking in the kitchen, so most people should have this. And then something you might find helpful is reusable food storage bags as well for any kind of snacks that you may want to take to work. So where can you start? There's just so many options. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. So you want to start by choosing which method you want to try first, and then you're going to plan out your meals for the week based on that method. And once you kind of get the hang of it and you've established a routine, you can start planning monthly so it takes even less time. At that point, you're then going to make your grocery list and go shopping, and then just pick your designated prep day. Usually it's Sunday if you're working like a normal Monday through Friday, and then you'll start meal prepping. Well, if it'll go. All right, some tips and tricks to get you guys going. It's really smart to remember to start slow and work your way up. Like I said, it's easy to get overwhelmed, and just starting with 1 or 2 meals a week and slowly adding in more as you kind of get the hang of it will make it less overwhelming and help you be able to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. You might want to start with a tried and true recipe that you know that you like. So if you put in all this work, you don't want to make this extravagant recipe just to find out that you don't even like it, and then you're discouraged to continue meal prepping in the future. So start with what you know and just go from there. And then another helpful tip might be to write everything down. Personally, I like to use a calendar for everything. I'm a big fan of lists, and I like to keep track of what I plan on making and when I plan on meal prepping, and tracking what meals you have made ensures variety so that you're not eating the same thing every week. Another great tip is just to keep it simple. There are so many different recipes out there, and there's so many different ways to make foods and so many different everything. It's a lot. And just remember to go back to the basics. If you think about the My Plate method model that you learned in like elementary school, there's those 5 components. You've got your fruit, your vegetable, your whole grain, your protein, and your dairy. Just always remember that when you're trying to figure out what you need. You don't have to make this big, crazy recipe. You just need maybe chicken, and then a vegetable could be broccoli or asparagus, and then throw in some rice, and you have a balanced meal. So a balanced plate should be full of variety, but it should also be colorful. But if you're aiming to have 3 out of these 5 components at every meal, your plate's gonna be colorful. Just try not to get overwhelmed and just keep it as simple as you can. Another great tip is to create a recipe book of all your go-to meals. If you already have meals that you feel like you could turn into meal prepping, or if you have been meal prepping for a while, go ahead and keep track of all the meals that you like to make and make a book so that when you're trying to plan in the future what you want to make for the week or for the month, you have this list and you can look back and think, okay, well, this has different tastes, different flavors, or different ingredients. So I know I'm going to get something different than what I had last week. Or I know that this is budget friendly, or I know that this takes the least amount of time. So you can ultimately make what's going to work best for you and your schedule. And then some more tips and tricks. Frozen veggies are still veggies. I'm a big fan of frozen vegetables. If you're short on time or money, or you just can't find any produce that's fresh and cheap and what you want to use, just go with frozen. Frozen vegetables are really great because they're frozen at peak nutritional value. So you're not missing out on the nutritional value you'd get in the fresh. And they're better than canned because they haven't been kept on the shelf for who knows how long. And there's no added sodium or anything like that. So you can definitely substitute fresh vegetables with frozen at any chance you get. It also helps save time because it cuts out the washing and peeling and even cutting portion of prep times a lot of the time. Another great idea is to cook in bulk. If you have time to cook extra portions, stick them in the freezer and pull them out for later use. I really like to make frozen burritos. You make them and then you just wrap them up in aluminum foil and you stick them in the freezer. Stick them in the microwave for a minute or two and they're ready to go. You can also do this with casseroles, soups, and pasta dishes like lasagna. Freeze and reheat really well as well. Here are some lunch and recipe ideas. I gathered both of these from the Real Food Dietitians. They have a great website. They have a huge meal prep folder if you want to check them out and kind of look and get some inspiration for your meal prep menu. The two I included are two that really stood out to me because they're really colorful, but they're also really simple. That Korean inspired ground beef bowl is great because it has tons of nutrients. It's got beef for your protein. It's got cucumber, carrots, and radishes in it for all your vegetables. And it's providing all that nice color. And then rice is your grain. So if you're wanting to do like the batch cooking method, you could make a ton of rice and then include this as one of your recipes. It's also great because it takes less than 30 minutes. And then the other one is the sheet pan gnocchi with kielbasa and vegetables. This one's great because it's one dish, which is my favorite, which means super easy, quick cleanup. But it's also very colorful because it has all the tomatoes and the spinach and the bell peppers. And then I also wanted to include some snack recipe ideas. One of my all-time favorite things to make in batch cooking is any kind of muffins or oatmeal cups. So I really like the zucchini banana baked oatmeal cups because they have fruits and vegetables in it, but they're also packed with fiber and healthy fats and protein. And then bonus points if you want to top them with nut butter, like peanut butter or almond butter, you're going to add even more protein and it's going to help you stay full longer. You can make a bunch and just freeze them and pull them out whenever you want to eat them for a snack or breakfast or whatever. Just pop them in the microwave for 30 minutes or for 30 seconds and they're good to go. And then another recipe is these ranch roasted mixed nuts. You can make a batch of them on your prep day. So say you make a bunch of them on Sunday or whatever day. And then you can just take them in the reusable plastic bag to work every day and snack on them. It's going to leave you feeling full because it's packed with protein and good fat. It's going to give you energy to make it through that work day. Again, both of these recipes are from the Real Food Dietitians as well. So in conclusion, consuming small, frequent meals every 3 to 4 hours leads to both healthier choices and a healthier relationship with food. You can build a nutritious meal that tastes good too. And meal prepping is super customizable. It's going to fit any schedule and it's going to help you save time, money, and it's going to hopefully reduce stress. At the end of the day, I just want you to find what's most sustainable for you and your family and your lifestyle so that you can implement it and keep going with it. These are some of the references that I used for this presentation. And then now I want to take another poll of the same questions and just see how you guys are feeling after the presentation. So again, just rank your confidence on your ability to meal prep on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not confident and 10 being extremely confident. And then rank your understanding on how to build a mindful meal with the same ranking. I'll give you guys a few seconds to answer that. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to questions while you guys are finishing up that poll.